This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Throwing on first is Wentz. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Now Wentz. Flush to his right. And he's got it. After all that, they only wind up with a yard. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. A 1st down and more for Edwards-Helaire. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone. And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Logan Thomas experienced a breakout season last year at the age of 29. Converted from playing quarterback, he finished 3rd among tight ends with 72 catches, and it certainly looks like his future is awfully bright. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Play action. Now Wentz. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo. And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. 2nd and 10. On play action, Wentz. Looking deep for Julio. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown. Julio Jones. His 11th touchdown of the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far? Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a do-it-all back, and he did plenty on that run. And as a rookie, 803 yards rushing for the season, and Kansas City may look to up his workload a little bit in year 2. The last pick of the first round in 2020, he more than justified that selection with his ability to run the football and catch it out of the backfield. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help. And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And some room to roam now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. Tackle made by Chase Young.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Five yards remain on 2nd down. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Chase Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Mahomes to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Two straight sacks have them backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Mahomes going to throw. Buying time to his... All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wentz. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5-6 and went out in the 1st round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And Ron Rivera, he's going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jerick McKinnon now to return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drive
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Got Gordon open, completes it.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, I got the safe completion on 3rd. Fielded at about the 28. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. Lines up and lets it go for Samuel. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, this offense has had their way for the most part here in this first half, but that time, maybe they got a little greedy.
Well, it is hard to blame them, isn't it? Because like they said back in the 1980s, greed can be good. Stick with what's been working. But that time, I think he got a little bit...
Down the numbers. There he goes. The 40. The 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, an even 90 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. Here's a diving catch right side. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to have it here just past the 25. 3 first-half interceptions now. And, Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now here's Mahomes. Escapes the sack. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Washington football team on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
No gain on the play there, second down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young
in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They go play fake. Mahomes rolling to his right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
And taken right on the 30.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On 1st down, Wentz.
They'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Curtis Samuel exhibited a lot of versatility for 4 years in Carolina. Now in his 1st year with Washington, expect this football team to try and put the ball in his hands a variety of ways.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, Wentz.
Got a man, it's Gibson, complete.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Second and 11 now.
Now Wentz again. This is caught.
Touchdown, Washington.
3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz.
And Washington going to add on to their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. To return, it's McKinnon. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. Benjamin St. Juste there on the stop. Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chase Young has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
Now the Chiefs bring on their field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Butker's kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Wentz. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Looking deep for Julio. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. 31 yards on the punt there. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with it defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Nick Bolton brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Under pressure, they got him again. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Wentz. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the veteran Richard Sherman. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Now Edwards-Helaire.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here's Mahomes.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The nice thing is that you still got all your timeouts, so the middle of the field, that should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They'll run it with Williams. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
And here's Edwards-Helaire.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And he'll conserve whatever time he can as they'll opt to bring it out to the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wentz to throw. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman. And the return will stop right around the 25. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mahomes to throw it.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Mahomes.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 25. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. He's got a man complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp